Hello, people of the internet, and welcome to Walk
Up the Drive.
Up the Drive number 2. I did think people have been calling the coronavirus from which we are currently hiding Ronin.
Ronin?
Rona, that's it. Rona.
The Ronavirus.
The Ronavirus.
I don't know, I prefer COVID-19.
Yeah, so do I. But because of the fact that they've been calling it Rona, I thought we could call this Rona roaming or Rona strolling, or.
But then again, it sounds like we're going for a
we're not going
stroll
far
through coronavirus land.
We aren't doing that.
We're not going there.
What we are doing, as you can probably hear, is wandering through lamb land and sheep. You can see. You'll notice that today is slightly different because Joe is wandering around with a camera, which we didn't do last time because we thought, well, we didn't really think of anything at all, really. We just wandered out of the house.
Well, the lambs were fresh.
And yes, there were some very fresh lambs. There are still fresh lambs appearing. There was another one born today. I happen to know. I was woken up this morning by a text message complete with video of freshly born lamb that had just been born on the drive. Farmer Ed, who I think it has to be said in that accent, had sent me a video to say, look, more fresh lambs. It is bitey today, bitey cold, isn't it?
Yeah, I forgot to put my gloves on, which I am regretting now.
We're not very far from the house, it's only down there, but we're not going back.
But look at those tails go!
Yes.
I feel sorry for the mum bit, like being punched from underneath. Thunk.
But the whole plan of this, of course, is for us to walk up the drive and
see the lambs.
See the lambs, but not necessarily film the lambs. And there are loads of them.
Yes.
We're about to walk past
some
more who are going to get very upset.
Yes.
Okay, they're going over there. I don't know whether you can see them in the background. Anywho, that's enough of lambs. There are loads because we're now coming along.
You're starting to sound a bit jaded by lambs.
Oh, so many lambs.
I'm just so bored of the cuteness of it all.
Yeah. I'm not really.
You sound
However, I do sound
Look
like
at those tiny ones, though.
Yes.
I'm going to get some shots of the tiny ones.
See, the whole idea of this is for us to get some exercise and do some walking and what have you, and instead what you get is Joe filming lambs. It's a dark and miserable day today. We've had a couple of days where the weather hasn't been utterly brilliant, which has been a bit of a shame. I developed a cough. No, it's gone, you'll be glad to hear, but I did develop a cough for a day or two. And we think it's because Jay's been massaging my shoulder, which sounds stupid, but apparently is something that happens if you've got some sort of muscular something or other going on. If somebody massages your shoulder, if somebody massages your shoulder or whatever part of your body needs massaging, it can release toxins and what have you into your body, which then mean that you develop sort of flu-like symptoms. They don't last very long, but in the middle of a pandemic like this, it's a bit unnerving, especially if you haven't really been anywhere. Admittedly, it was exactly the right amount. She's catching up. It was exactly the right amount of time that it sort of would have been from the last time I'd gone out, and the last time I went out was to a hospital, which made me a bit nervous, but it is fine. I didn't have any other symptoms other than just a cough, and it, by the sound of it, wasn't anywhere near as bad as the coughs people have been getting, and it's completely gone. So I haven't got anything horrible by the sounds of it, which is good. Here she comes.
Hi. They were so small I could not film them. They were basically going, I'm too cute to not be filmed.
Yes, they are. It is very, very cold, and very, very windy. So
be glad that you're inside watching us.
Yeah.
Being outside.
Yeah. Now, last time we did this, it kind of worked. Well, it did. It worked. Well, it worked to the point that you saw it. But unfortunately, the camera that I'm talking to you on now has a funny little magnetic lens that clips onto the main lens to make this a wide-angle camera, which means that we can both get into the shot.
Because otherwise
we're like that, and it would just look stupid. However, we got to a point where I wanted to film some lambs, and I filmed some lambs, and you saw that footage of me filming some lambs, and then I put the lens back on and I got it slightly wrong. It was skew width, so it meant,
Which is the technical term for when you put a lens back on wrong.
yeah, it meant that you couldn't see any of that footage because it was all out of focus and blurry and
Yeah.
had a big black splodge down the side of it.
And we
which
talked about so many profound things,
We did.
like our buzzard game,
we did.
which I won.
You did.
I mean, you got to see Ian win Bunny.
It's all well and good, but you don't know. But they don't know what our buzzard game is. Basically, we live sort of sad and uninteresting lives, but
We don't.
no, we don't. We a few years back, we drove into London from here, which is about 4 hours away from. I think it's about four,
Well, it was.
something like
It's
that.
generally consistently been 4 hours away from wherever we've lived.
Yes, that's true. I have liked to, keep a distance of about 4 hours between me and London, but we started to notice an awful lot of rabbits on the road. Not, alive ones, not splatty
Yeah.
ones. And we came
They were
because
being paid by the council to trim the verges, as far as
They
I could
were.
make out. Yeah,
that's what it was.
working
Anyway,
rabbits.
because of the fact that we were very bored in driving, we came up with a game. What was the game, Joey?
It was called Bunny. And do you know what the objective was? It was to spot and say bunny.
Yeah.
Since then, it has morphed somewhat. Now,
has.
whenever you say a bunny, you get a point. If you misclaim a bunny, you lose a point.
As in claim,
Yeah,
there is a mound of earth that looks a bit like a bunny.
yeah.
It's not a bunny.
Then you're Dr. Bunny. And if you've got no bunnies, then you're a minus bunny, and that's big trouble.
Yeah.
And then we moved to somewhere where there were no bunnies.
Well, actually, the thing that's changed it, Bunny, the thing
I'll
that
get
changed it was that there was a year that there was an awful lot of mixie,
Yeah,
and as a result, there were very few bunnies.
practically none.
Practically none. So the game of bunny became very dull.
Yeah, so we tried buzzard for
There
a
were
bit.
lots of buzzards.
Yeah, and then for some reason we had a dearth of buzzards as well.
Yeah.
And for ages Ian would be going, oh, squirrel, just like, as a squirrel.
'Cause
And I
like
kept saying, we're
squirrels.
not playing squirrel. We're not playing squirrel. We play squirrel now.
We do play squirrel, although now
It's Swanky Rat.
it's called Swanky Rat because of the fact that somebody read something on the internet where somebody had referred to them as Swanky Rats.
You.
Oh, was it me that read
Yeah.
that? I thought that was brilliant. I can't remember who it was that wrote the thing.
Well, no, all I can remember is it being that they preferred squirrels because they're a step up in the evolutionary process
That's
from
right.
rats. But they didn't like something else because it had gone a step down.
Yeah, we don't know what that was.
No,
But Swanky Rat is definitely the thing.
yes. Ian won first Swanky Rat. I'm galled by that one.
Yes, I've seen several Swanky Rats today. Largely due to the fact that we've got them living around the house.
I've seen nothing. I've got to keep my eye out for buzzards now.
You have, although I don't know that you're going to see anything. It's a bit of an overcast day today, although it is still a nice day to be out. It is chilly.
Chilly,
There's a bitey wind.
bitey. These are words I agree with. Chilly and bitey.
Chilly and bitey, but it's nice to be out because we have kind of largely spent the last 2 days in. It wasn't.
Well, it was the weekend.
A, it was the weekend, and
We had
B,
to
it
watch
was
Ralph
really,
Rex the
really,
Internet.
yeah, it was really windy, and we
Yeah.
kept looking out the window. Going, oh, no, he don't really go out. He looks windy.
But
Let's just
consider
stay in.
the day before, brilliant sunshine.
Yeah.
Next day, this.
And of course, I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after, but that's going to be April, when of course there will be April showers.
Apparently, it's going to rain next Monday.
Oh well.
If they're right, they're often wrong.
Yeah, but that's a week away.
Yeah.
So, oh dear.
Anyway, this is British and talking about the weather. We're very good at that.
We are. What we must also talk about, well, there's two things we must talk about. There's the thing that we talked about in the blurry lensy bit last time, which
We forgot.
got cut
Yeah.
as a result of the fact that blurry lensy bit. But we must say a huge thank you to, well, all of the patrons that used to support
yeah.
us and used to support us and what have you. But that we've kind of, well, we stopped making films for a bit.
We kept reimbursing the patrons
Yeah,
because if we're not producing anything, we didn't feel it was right to charge
No.
anybody. But Deborah, Kristen, I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I keep reimbursing you every month, and you haven't.
I think
Like-
they're just hoping that we'll come back and look.
We're back.
We did, and
yeah.
you can now see films of us not going anywhere.
Well, we're busy going nowhere.
We
that's
are
the
busy
thing.
going nowhere.
Yeah.
Now then,
That's going to be my epitaph.
there is a Devonshire adage which says you should never pass a gate. That is a gate. And
As
one of
a
the
person
things,
who grew up in Devonshire, I've never heard it.
yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, I know of this phrase, but didn't grow up there. She's got no clue. So this is where the white lambs are.
Holy schmoly.
It is a bit windy. Anyway, the adage is that you should never pass a gate, which Joe hasn't heard of. Although it might be that it's just something that a chappie who I seem to remember was now what was he? Something to do with wildlife anyway. I know he wrote a book. His name was Trevor Beer, and he wrote a book called Never Pass a Gate. And it might just be that that's where I got it from, but it is certainly, it's something that you should live by. Because basically what it's saying is, if you see a gate, like a farm gate, not somebody's garden gate, but if it's a farm gate, have a look over it, because you never know what you might see. Because right now I am looking at a lamb hurtling along at its mother at breakneck speed because it wants a drink.
Not getting it.
Not getting it because the mother's wandering off. This is a field of white lambs, which probably means that these mums are not first year mums. They've already had a set of lambs last year.
Oh, you'll be
At least.
pleased to know that they're getting their milk now.
Oh good, those lambs are getting their milk, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that anymore. I'm going to wander off and Joe's going to continue filming lambs, no doubt, because I can't drag her away.
You asked me to film lamb footage, and lamb footage is what you're getting.
Okay. You can come back when catch up when you like.
Thanks, dear.
But the idea is, if you pass a gate, have a look over it, because you never know what you might see, which is always nice. This is definitely a sedentary stroll day, as opposed to, sometimes we come up here and we sort of route march it, which it's generally an indication that we're thinking about things. How do I do so and so? Whatever. But yeah, when it's a nice sedentary walk like this, it probably means that we're somewhat relaxed. So, which isn't surprising really, because we have spent 2 days not going out. We've watched a number of Marvel movies. We watched Wreck-It Ralph. What else have we done? Stuff really. Quite a bit of time spent looking at the various different things that you've been saying to us on the internet, which is lovely. Comments on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and all that sort of thing. It's really nice actually. We didn't know quite how we were going to be received when we returned. We didn't really think about it, to be honest, but it is lovely to have sort of, hello, you're back a lot, which is really nice, because we didn't really think that we'd been missed, to be honest. Here she comes, catching me up. Buzzard.
Oh, god damn it! Oh, man.
Yeah.
King Buzzard.
I am King Buzzard.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
What
So-
that lamb said. Nah.
Indeed. Yeah. They're probably kites, knowing my luck. But
Oh, that's a point.
no,
I
they're
think they're
buzzards.
buzzards.
They're definitely buzzards. You can tell by the way they spiraled up. Not that you can see any of this because it's on the other side of the camera. So, the other thing that obviously we must talk about, due to the fact that lots of people have commented upon it, is my hair.
By lots, you mean two?
Was it two? No, other
Two
people.
and your mother.
Other people have. I'm sure there have been a number of comments about my hair, but either way, no,
Yes.
because Erin commented on how scruffy I
Oh,
looked.
yes, yeah.
I can't remember
I
who
quite
else.
like scruffed hair.
Yeah, and that is the thing, and largely it's laziness.
Partly we can't go out to get it cut. No,
Th-
I'm not
that is
cutting
that
it.
is true.
I'm not. No. I won't.
I
do
don't
it.
think I would allow her to.
You've asked me a couple of times and I refuse.
Yeah. So I've thought about it now and thought, no, that's probably a bad idea.
Yes.
But there are a number of reasons for the length of it. Firstly, spent a lot of time not in front of a camera, and there is a large part of me that just doesn't care. I've never really been one for worrying about how I look.
The trouble is, he keeps asking me, do I look alright? And I'm like, yeah. And everybody else says, you look scruffy, so.
Yeah, this is why I ask you, is because people comment that I look
But
scruffy.
I don't know either, because I'm
No.
rubbish at style, as you can probably
Oh, I don't
tell.
have any style.
Style. You've got more style than I have.
I've been wearing the same rough outfit for years. I mean, it's just, you know, a miracle that I changed from jeans to walking trousers, and then that
Walking
stuck.
trousers are far more comfortable than jeans. That's-
Exactly, that's why they stuck.
Yeah.
I bought some thinking I'll go walking, these jeans are a pain, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
No,
Largely
Am I?
because if I tried looking back and walking forward, I'd fall over.
you might spot more buzzards that way, just
I
saying.
might do, but I probably won't. Ah dear. Anyway, we are now approaching another part of the walk that you didn't get to see. When did we put the last one up? Was it Saturday?
It was Saturday.
Right. Well, the Saturday film that we didn't quite work due to the lens issue. You missed out on this lovely piece of woodland that you. Well, I'm going to turn around so you can see it. Lovely bit of woodland.
Lovely bit of woodland.
Lovely bit of woodland. It's still part and parcel of the drive down to the house, which is a farm track. It's not really our drive. It's just
No,
how we
it's
get there.
just there, yeah.
And none of it's ours. We rent this place. We don't certainly don't
no.
own it.
No,
Ooh,
no.
God no.
It's lovely, but no.
Just the upkeep on the potholes alone would be a nightmare. It is lovely. We do get an opportunity to come and walk in you know, quite
Farmland.
farmland, and this bit's nice because it's wooded.
I do like a bit of woodland area.
We occasionally see deer here, but not.
We once walked a friend's dog up here, and we saw this deer, and it was staring at us, and it was great. And the dog just stood and looked at us like, what? Why have we stopped?
Yeah, couldn't
And then
see it.
eventually it spotted the deer. And then it was just like, what are you? And the deer was like, well, what is that?
Yeah, it was very much a moment of hello. And here we are, gate number 2. And that's probably why we won't get to see any deer, because of the horrendous noise that the gate makes. Sometimes it's open, in which case we can walk through it peacefully and quietly, but it also probably would help if I wasn't
Talking all the
constantly,
time.
yeah, waffling away into a camera.
It's the wrong end of the day for a deer anyway, I think.
I don't know.
It tends to be later in the day
Well, it depends on whether or not it's had a nap.
when you're just waking up. Where am
Could
I?
be.
What day is it?
Yeah, there's a sort of an overall greeningness out here, because the leaves are coming out on the trees. There's a hole there. That's one of the potholes. But yeah, I don't know whether you can tell. I know a lot of those are conifers, but still, there are green patches appearing. But there's just a sort of a general haze of green in amongst the trees, which is leaves.
So a hazy shade of green turf, if we call it.
You could call it that,
Yeah.
but I wish you wouldn't.
In that case, I will more.
Oh, God. Yeah. But it's a lovely
is-
spot, isn't it?
yeah.
Because it's.
And this bit gets bluebells in.
That was the other thing. Somebody commented bluebells,
Yes.
or bluebells ? And yes, this does get bluebells. They're not. We've seen more impressive woods for
Well,
bluebells.
actually, some years are better than others. Last year wasn't great, but the year before was
wasn't.
pretty spectacular.
I hope you're all doing okay in your
Yeah.
in your self isolation quarantine type thing, because
We worry.
we do.
We do. I keep like leaving messages on my Twitter and Facebook asking people if you're all right.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're not. I can't give you a hug.
No.
No, even if I could meet up with you.
No, this is the thing. I mean, you can now be at a broom's length away or something like that.
I don't think you're if you're in groups of more than 2, you get fined.
You do.
quite
This is
substantially.
the thing. I mean, I don't know what's happening elsewhere in the world, but over here, the police are stopping people and fining them for just being out without
Yeah.
a reasonable cause.
So it was I saw a man had been arrested because he was going to get windows and his wife was hiding in the boot.
Yeah, I read that and
Or
thought
not arrested, sorry.
she
stopped
wasn't
him.
hiding in the boot. He'd put the windows into the car,
I didn't read the
and there
article.
wasn't enough room for her to get into the car, so she had to get in the boot, which is surely where you'd put the windows.
You would think. I don't know. Some people have tiny boots. Maybe she was a small
I
woman.
have no idea.
No big windows. Either way.
I just assumed when I read the headline, man stocked with woman in boot, that it was just one of those peculiar things that by sheer fluke, the coronavirus had saved her life because of the fact that, she's being
no.
murdered or kidnapped or something.
The headline was a bit more in depth when I read it, so I just figured I knew the whole article from the headline, and it wasn't something that seemed overly important.
I got more of a clickbaity headline, clearly.
Yeah, but I don't click on those either because I refuse to feed the machine.
Yes, but I was actually on the website that was talking about it rather than it being a
so
pop-up or something.
There and
I was already there.
Well.
I knew what I was getting myself into. So we have reached the end of our drive, which is rather lovely, really, because there's a stream and you can see the view, which I think I'll show you the view from here, which doesn't look overly exciting today because it's a bit miserable looking, but it is a nice view nonetheless. We have reached the road. This is the point that we can basically go no further. You can hear the stream.
Man-made, I think.
No.
Some bits of it.
There's a culvert that goes under the road. But other than that, it is a stream. Which...
It's a culvert operation.
Oh dear. See,
this is what he has to put up with.
Yeah, this is constant, it never stops.
No. No, it does.
It really doesn't. Down there, down the bank, that you really can't see particularly well, but down there are lots of what look like bluebells coming up. So hopefully soon there will be lots of bluebells and we can come out and film lots of bluebells for you. And if we're really unlucky, then the brambles will grow up faster than the bluebells do and you won't be able to see a thing.
I did have a question for you guys actually. If we were to start putting films up on regular days, what days would you prefer them to go up on? And what time of the day?
Maybe we should do a poll. If you can do a poll, there will be a poll appearing, I believe, up there. Yeah, up in the corner, a thing should appear and there will be a poll in it. And it'll have...
Would it not be in the comments?
No, because it appears up there.
Oh, okay.
And it'll say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if you could pick the day or days that you would prefer, squirrel, to see...
No, swanky rat.
Swanky rat. Right.
No,
Yeah.
Do we make a new rule here? Do we say if you say squirrel instead of swanky rat, you get Dr. Swanky Rat?
No.
No?
No.
Too many rules?
Too many rules.
Okay.
I'm not about those rules. Anyway, poll. Back to the poll.
Back to the poll.
If you click up there, you will see a drop-down thing which will appear and it will say the days of the week. And if you would like to pick the days of the week that you would like to see films, bear in mind we have no intention of making a film every day.
Yes.
But anyway, if you can pick the days that we don't want to do any more than 3 films a week.
No.
I was thinking possibly Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that. But if you would prefer them something like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or...
Hogs Watch Day.
Any other combination, Christmas Day, that sort of thing. Yeah, that would be interesting to know. Also, if you want to see us making... We're back at the gate again. If you want to see us making... Oh, that's a good noise.
Isn't it?
Yeah, if you want to see us making certain types of films, let us know what you'd like those films to be. Although, they are going to be largely us walking up and down the drive.
Yes. I mean, anything to do with skydiving or anything like that's right out.
Yeah, oh God, no.
No, I wouldn't mind one day.
I can't understand why anybody would go skydiving.
Because I like falling.
Yes, but it's the,
I
you're in a perfectly good aeroplane, leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly, leave it alone by getting out of it.
Well, there is that.
You do you, plane.
Okay.
Of course I'd have to have a trained person with me.
Yes, and we don't have a plane or a parachute or anything, any of these things.
No.
None of these things are available to us, especially in this current climate. Anyway, so
I have successfully distracted
you
from
have.
his train of
You've
thought.
broken my brain.
Win one for me.
What we're trying to make sure is that you get a little of us as often as possible.
But not too much all at once.
Not too much all at once, without too many fannying about with sort of production value. Somebody pointed out that we didn't do the whole giving it ears thing
Oh yes.
last time.
This
Largely,
is for you.
this is there's 2 reasons.
Ah.
One, we forgot,
Yes.
and 2,
Had we remembered,
we probably wouldn't have done it anyway, because we're not. This isn't about us getting subscribers and all that sort of thing and doing that. This is about us making sure that you've got something outsidey that you can look at and go, oh, look, that's nice, and also chatty, because we're idiots and we'll talk incessantly as a camera if you put one in front of us.
I don't think that we're idiots and that makes us chatty. I think we're just chatty.
Oh, okay. The idiot bit is just sort of by the by.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good to know.
Unrelated.
Unrelated idiot this, but it also means it gives us the what are you stomping your feet about? Sorry, that was a sheep. Yeah, it gives us the impetus to go out and do a bit of walking, which we might otherwise forget to do, as the last 2 days have proven, because it wasn't raining, it was just windy and we didn't like the look of it. So, we should have really...
I say wouldn't like the look of it. It would have been a bit too windy.
It would have been very cold. We would have had to have...
lay it up.
Yeah, lay it up a bit.
Like an onion.
Is it? Yes, like an onion.
Like an onion.
There is another sheep that's having
This
a
is
look
what
at
it's
us
like
going...
for me going on a walk with Ian. He'll be talking to you. He'll be talking to you. Hold on a minute. Mid-sentence, you're near the end of the sentence. He's started the sentence several times, but he's near the end of the sentence. Oh, hole.
I like to see holes in the countryside, You
What's
never know what's going to be living down
In a
it.
previous life, you were a Jack Russell.
Probably. Yep. If reincarnation were a thing, I would have... Yeah, I get the feeling that you're probably not wrong.
Small yappy dog.
Thank you.
Likes holes.
I'd like to point out that the hedgerows are doing nicely. I don't know if you can see this. You probably can't. But they are starting to green up, which actually has happened over just the last few days.
Yeah.
But it is nice to see, because during the winter they just look miserable and twiggy. That's the one.
And not like the model.
No.
Because if we had models growing on the bushes, I'd be a bit freaked out.
That would be really weird.
It would be really weird.
Yep. Well, we're nearly back at the house now.
Yeah.
I say we're nearly back at the house. We're still on the curvy bit, but it's not far from the house.
Yes, and a cup of tea will be had by him.
Oh, well, no, a cup of coffee will be had by me, and you'll probably have a cup of tea. Yeah, you know how to live, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. We have no booze in the house. Actually, I say that we have got a bottle of wine in the fridge, but it has been sat there for months. I couldn't even tell you what it is. It's just in the fridge.
I'm not a big fan of lots of alcohol anyway, so I'm not worried about it.
We could use it to celebrate the end of the quarantine.
Can we have something nice to celebrate the end of the quarantine? Because I don't overly like wine.
Maybe we should go somewhere and have a cocktail or something. How many people are going to find that actually they hugely prefer not going out?
Quite a few, I should imagine.
Yeah, and just sort of self-isolating in a sort of a permanent way.
I'm curious to know how many business models will change because they realise that half of their meetings can be done
on Zoom.
Yeah,
is it
or
Zoom? I don't. Yeah.
Or Skype or whatever.
Yeah.
Other companies are available.
But I would like to know if you are stuck at home and normally you go out and work somewhere, are you continuing to work from home? And if so, are you finding it difficult in any way, shape, or form? Are you going to sort of say to the company that you work for when this was all over, hang on a minute, there is absolutely no point in me coming into the office for 99.9% of the time, and therefore I can save money on suits by working in my pyjamas.
Well, actually, you'd still have to spend money on perhaps if you're doing conference calls, the top half of the suit.
That's true. Or alternatively, just have pyjamas that look like a suit.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Yeah.
I think people would notice.
I don't know. I did see that there was a newsreader somewhere or other who is actually reading the news from, he's got a green screen in his house and he's reading the news from his house, but because he's got a green screen, they're just dropping out his green background and sticking him into the newsroom like he's there. And he's actually sitting next to his co-anchor and pretending that they're in the same room, which I thought was quite funny.
Why not?
Yeah, why not indeed?
Why not?
If you've got the internet speed in order to do it.
It would tell you what, it would cut down so much on emissions if people didn't have to travel to work if they didn't need to or didn't want to.
And I mean, currently there is a car on the road, which doesn't seem to be happening very much. But as a result, there is a noise. That's what made me stop. The fact that I could hear a noise. But it's making a massive difference to the lack of pollution.
Yeah.
Apparently in Venice they're getting dolphins in Venice because they're swimming up the canals because the canals are so unpolluted. We're back at the house now. That's going to make you feel sick, isn't it, if I keep doing that?
Yeah, don't do that.
Um,
Anyway, so this is for Coastal World, who has requested the if you want to get notified whenever we put a video up, click the little bell to give it some ears.
I can only do it with one hand.
Click the bell, give it some
ears.
There you go. You don't have to. This is just us fulfilling a need for somebody else. I look really small because I'm standing in a ditch.
I don't stand in it. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. She is tiny. There's nothing of her, you know.
This is the size I really am.
It doesn't work. Okay.
There we go.
So yes, we are gaining subscribers, strangely. Which
Yeah. Hello to the new subscribers.
yes, hello new people. And
Make yourselves known in the comments
Yes.
down below. We'll say hello.
yes, I haven't really thought about how we're going to end these things. I haven't really thought about anything other than the fact that we're going to walk up the drive and talk rubbish.
Natter. That is it.
That is it, and you get to see some occasional lambs, daffodils, and somebody did tell me what the purple plants were that were over there.
Grape hyacinths.
Grape hyacinth.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's good to know. They're very pretty.
They are very pretty. And I will remember it because they do actually look grapey.
They do.
Yeah. With that, we shall see you next time.
Yes, TTFN, and which will be in a couple of days probably.
Wednesday. And we'll put a poll up. Don't
Assuming
forget
that
to
this
vote
goes
in
up
the
today.
poll.
Oh, yes, don't forget the poll. And see you next time. No, you say that bit.
See you next time.
TTFN.